In this tutorial, we're going to discuss the general layout and options available on your MegaEdit editor. Many of the topics covered in this tutorial will be covered in more detail in subsequent tutorials within this series. So we're going to start off on the MegaEdit products screen. So this is the screen where we can see all of the products that have already been converted into MegaEdit products. And what we're going to do first of all is to actually get to our product landing page on the front end of our storefront. Now there's a few ways in which you can do this from here. The easiest is to go to the product variant settings. So I can just locate the product of interest and click on edit product variant. And then at the top of the screen, there's a view product page button. And that will take us directly to the product landing page. So in the example we've got here, the landing page will be fairly simplistic as we've not fully defined our product information, such as descriptions and an image. However, we do have a few MegaEdit resource selections that we've set up in previous tutorials. So I can make some selections in here as to the product I want to start off with. So the canvas size, the stock that I want to use, and the output type. And then to launch the MegaEdit interface, I'm going to hit Start. Now the MegaEdit editor will load in the default configuration and using the brand colors specified in your appearance settings within the Infigo admin area. So we'll take a look at adjusting those settings in a future tutorial if you want to further brand the colors on your MegaEdit editor. What we're going to do next is just navigate around the editor screen and discuss the available options and functionality. Starting off with the two at the top left here, we have back, which will take you to the product landing page, so the page we initially came from. And then we have menu. Now that will give you access to the general editor settings. The options that are available in here will depend on the customer role of the logged in user. So for example, if I'm logged in as an administrator, as I am here, then we have a greater amount of options available. Such as, for example, if we scroll down to the bottom of this list, you'll see a section heading which is admin product options. Everything underneath there are options which are only available to our administrators, and we'll cover these in a separate tutorial. Covering some of the other options available in the menu, so scrolling back to the top in our general user settings here, the first thing we have is the canvas size. So the menu itself will display the currently used canvas size, and if your product is configured to allow it, users can modify the canvas size by clicking on this button. So if we click that icon there, a separate window will open, and this allows users to select a new canvas or a new stock based on available specifications. The details we're seeing here are the same as those we saw on the product landing page. It just allows us to change these details within the product specification itself, rather than having to exit the editor and go back to our product landing page. Once we've chosen a new specification, so I can change my stock and my canvas size, for example, I hit change. It's then giving me a warning saying that the aspect ratio is changing in this case. So there's a couple of options as to how it wants to move elements that are on the page. And I can click continue. And you'll see that my stock has now changed because I'm using a different colored stock in this case. And my canvas has been updated. Okay, so a few more options that are available on our menu list here. Again, these options will be available to the end user, allowing them to perform common functions on the MegaEdit template. So starting off with clear page. So this removes and resets all elements from the selected page. We have reset. So that reverts all changes made to the page. We have the editor settings. So if I click on there, this allows us to change the editor to snap to grid, snap to objects, or a free mode, where you can just sort of drag things to anywhere on the screen. You've also got the ability to enable a ruler if you want something to reference against. You can see that just appeared in the background there. Then once I'm happy with that selection, I can click OK. And then also available on this drop-down list, we have the canvas settings, which will just show us the same options that we see with the canvas size here. So moving over to a different part of this screen, next we have these plus and minus icons. They're quite simply zoom in and zoom out. We have the reset zoom icon, so that will just take it to its default zoom. And we have the enablement of a full screen mode if you want a little bit more space to work with. Looking next at the actual canvas itself, you'll notice, if I zoom in a little bit, that we have a couple of different lines around the outside of the canvas. And this is representing the page bleed. So the MegaEdit editor window will show a black and a red box around the edge of your canvas, which do represent the page bleed. So the area between the black and the red areas will not be shown when the product output is previewed, as this is part of the bleed area. Any images or text in this area will be cut off. Next, we'll take a look at this menu over on the left-hand side. So starting off with fields. So in its default state, the field tabs allows the addition of images and text. And these options can be available to just administrators and to template creators, or they can be available to customers as well. And these options will be configured in a later tutorial. So to show you how these work, what we're going to do is just add an image and a text field to our main canvas. Two ways we can do this. We can either just click the button that's on the left-hand side here. So for example, I can click to add an image, or you can drag and drop from here as well onto your actual canvas to place it in a specific location. So these fields can both be resized, they can be rotated, they can be repositioned. And if you double click on any of those, you get a multitude of additional options available as well. And these will be covered in a future tutorial. Image galleries can be added to Infigo for use in MegaEdit. So if we come back to the left-hand side in this menu here, we're going to go down one option to the Images tab. So I can click Add Files to create galleries of images. So if I click Add Files, I can just select a few images that I want to be able to select between. So I've just picked two example images there of the Infigo Academy logo. And then you'll see that when I add those images in, I get the option to either add them to an album that we already have, or I can create a new album. And then hit Start. And you'll see that both of those will now be uploaded and available in that particular image gallery. With gallery items uploaded, I can drag and drop images from the gallery onto the canvas. This will be added as an image placeholder field, which will be pre-populated with your selected image. And this can be replaced with other images if required. So I can just drag another image from our image galleries over here, drop it into the field or the frame, and then it will override the image that's in there. The image field that we added separately, so we added initially, is essentially the same as this one here. So I can still add a new image to this field just by dragging and dropping from the image galleries, dropping into the frame, and then that image will be added. Additional options for configuring these images will be covered in future tutorials. So coming down one more tab to the Pages section. So this tab allows you to add and select different pages within this product. So I can click New Page to add a new page to this particular product. The amount of pages that we can add is specified in the product settings that we did in a previous tutorial. To switch between specified pages, if we make sure that we're on the Pages tab, we can just select between the available pages. Okay, we also have a Tools tab down here. But in the default state, that tab is empty, so we'll cover that in later tutorials. And then a final couple of things to note. On the bottom left, we have a Click to Collapse, so that will just give us a little bit more workspace by getting rid of this left-hand menu. We also have a Preview, if configured to do so on your product. And we have an Add to Basket option as well.